Warning, Hebrews Toys Reviews is not intended for children. It is for adult collectors and the people over the age of 18. Hello everybody, Hebrew77 here, and today I want to talk to you about a G.I. Joe toy that I've always adored ever since I was a little kid. It's the G.I. Joe Dragonfly. Now there's a lot of history about the Dragonfly, and we'll be going over that today. I know that Retro Blasting covered some of this history in great detail. In fact, it was a personal story for them. However, I will cover it in my own unique way as well, and you'll see. Well, let's go take a trip to my local VFW where we explore the Cobra AR15 helicopter. Coming from this side, you can definitely see why I thought that it was on the roof, but it's really on around the side of another, on the parking lot. So that it's an amazing helicopter. Here we've got the Cobra AR15 helicopter. Flew many successful missions during the Vietnam era, and then carried over till the 80s. This is at my local VFW here. Now initially I thought this thing was on the roof. As you can see here, it's on the post here. I hope I'm getting a good shot of it. As you can see, it's got the gun turret. Let me zoom in here. The gun turret down here at the bottom there, and then you've got launchers here, and this is where the missiles would have been. You got your missiles on there. Now this is what's awesome about that is you can see the skids here that are attached to the thing here that was attached to the post. As I said before, initially I thought this was on the roof, like a long time ago. And as you can see, it looks just like the G.I. Joe helicopter, the Dragonfly. And that's what this is, what they based it off of. Again, like I said, here, let me roll down my window so we get the exact essence of what this helicopter means to us. And that's all the footage I'm going to film from right here. And that's the VFW post 1567 here in good sunshiny Illinois. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the clips. I went down, that was down at my local VFW, and like I said before, I always thought the helicopter was on the roof. Well, I guess I must have been mistaken somehow, because maybe the roof of the VFW wouldn't be able to hold its weight. I don't know. But anyway, now that you've seen the history of the AR-15 Cobra helicopter, it's time to take a look at what was inspired by that. The G.I. Joe Dragonfly. Boy, what a beaut. Oh, watch out! We're taking off. And now, here is the G.I. Joe Dragonfly toy review. Here it is, the G.I. Joe Dragonfly with Wild Bill. Let's shine a little bit more light on the subject. There we go. As you can see, I don't have my usual whiteboard setup back there in the background. However, there are two good reasons for that. Number one, the helicopter being a little bigger than what I usually review back here on this display. And number two, wait, that was number two. Let's move on. You can see the Wild Bill figure. We'll put that off to the side for right now, as we're going to mainly focus on the Dragonfly itself. And we'll start with the gun turret. And you're wondering, what? The gun turret? Why is Hebro starting with the gun turret? Because there was two different versions of this gun turret. There was this short pointed version of this, and the square, or I mean rounder version of this. I have two versions of this gun turret, and to me, I can't really see the difference. But I digress. We all love the G.I. Joe logo going on the side of this thing. And then comparison, if I had a side-by-side, you can clearly see the resemblance between this and the AR-15. Now, these are sagging just a bit, but here's your helicopter blades. These blades had orange pads on the end of them. You go further down here, you see this lever, and earlier on in the program, you saw me making the blades go around. And if anybody's seen my G.I. Joe movies or the latest, like that James Bond movie I did, you know, this is the one thing I liked about this. And I did do a Tomahawk review. Those blades you had to turn manually, and that's the thing I love about this helicopter, is it's the only helicopter that came out of the G.I. Joe line in which the blades are automatic. Now, how cool is that? Use this in my MASH shows that I did here recently on YouTube. Please go check those out. What I'm about to do is taboo. You should never grab this thing by the end here, or by the end here. But if you are going to grab it by the tail, grab it underneath and lift. Oh, let's get some more room here. G.I. Joe, real American hero. G.I. Joe is there. I can get it going faster. Hold on. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe. Yahoo! Well, he's not even in there, is he? So, anyway, I could do this forever. I have forever. And as you can see here, you've got United States and a serial number here with some letters. And then you look over here at the top, you can see an American flag. And these parts do come off to expose the engines, but I've never had them off. I'm never going to have them off. And if you want to see a better helicopter review, please go watch Retro Toy Reviews. Or not Retro Toys. What's the matter with me? Retro Blasting. You got the cool Dragonfly sticker, and over here you have Wild Bill. Now, there was another sticker. I don't see it now, but there was another name that was on here, and I don't think mine had that with it. That's weird. It just has the mine just has the Wild Bill, but there was another name on here, and I believe the other name might have been one of the writers. I know, I should have. I'm doing this. I did the VFW helicopter research and not this. way you get the figure in here is you lift the canopy, and mine still stays up, thank goodness. And you take the Wild Bill figure, or any figure for that matter, and you put them like so. Whoa. Sometimes you would need to probably bend the figure's knees. Now the cowboy hat, I will say, although it's cool as heck looking, does kind of prevent the canopy from going down, and you don't really want to force that sort of thing. Ah! Okay. That's not as tight as I thought it was. But the canopy will close with the figure in place and the hat on. And there he is inside the helicopter with the canopy fully closed. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about the back seat is actually the pilot seat, and the front seat is actually the gunner seat. But I don't know. I just always like to put them in the front seat because it's kind of like the front seat of a car. You know, you just associate the front seat with the pilot seat. On we have this gun here. I believe it is called an AR-15 caliber cannon. And I never really liked this thing because I felt like it always got in the way of the skids. Because how you attach it is you attach it here. These two holes peg in, and this piece here gets inserted into that hole right there. But this often gets in the way, and when you go to grab the helicopter, it falls off. If you barely nudge it, it falls off. If you look at it funny, it falls off. So I have always chosen to leave that off of there. The helicopter, as you can see, is missing maybe one or two missiles. It's not because they are missing. It's just simply because I decided not to try to keep them on there. Those are another one of those things that, you know, if you touch them, they fall off, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. So let's look at the tail here. So you can see there are some stress marks here, and it looks like these fins are slightly bent, which if you press down on them like so, you can see that's very easy to do. When I took a look at this thing for my MASH movies, it looked like that this was bent. But however, that's not the case, and I thought that one piece was broken. But this piece apparently is also supposed to be some sort of gun of some kind. Now, here at the bottom, let's lift it up. You have a hook and a winch. Let's release that. Go. Now, most G.I. Joes will hook onto this, and I think what I used to do when I was a kid was hook that directly into their belly. But now I know different. That does stretch the O-ring, and if it's already kind of I don't want to say rotten, but whatever, it will break nonetheless, or it will at least cause it to stretch out. Now, how you do this is there's a little, here, I'm gonna get that in the light, a little winching unit here, and you just turn the nozzle. Here, yes, you just turn the nozzle here, or not the nozzle, the little wheel, the little winch, if you will, and the hook just cranks right up, as you can see there. The hook cranks right up, and so I gotta say, I had this when I was a little kid, and I thought all the world of it, and I loved it, and I had forgotten that actually this came with Wild Bill, because I wasn't really too familiarized with the Wild Bill figure. With that being said, let's take a look at the figure itself. This is 1984, I'm sorry, 1985 G.I. Joe Wild Bill. And as you can see, there's not much to look at here except the cowboy hat does stand out. He has here, let me shine a little bit more light on this. Sheesh. Alright. He has the He has the aviator sunglasses, and he's got quite the robust mustache, I might add. He has a slinging gun that goes over his shoulder, a really cool looking brown jacket, vest that goes over his uniform. And here it looks like a knife, but he would probably tell you that's not a knife. Now this is a knife. Now he wouldn't say it like that. He is from Texas, people, not Australia. Come on. Anyway, he has green gloves, which don't seem to match the same color as the sleeves. But as I mentioned on the green figures before, especially the early green figures, the plastic right here and the elbow joint seemed to discolor over the years. And I'm not quite sure why that is. He has twin holsters for his twin pistols. And of course a nice little cowboy boots down there at the bottom. And of course he is fully posable just like all of the other G.I. Joes. You know, I don't have to point that out. His knees bend at 90 degrees, elbows bend at 90 degrees, and he bends at the torso. You know, he can move at the torso. Now his head only moves side to side. It does not move up and down, which I don't know. I think they already had out swivel heads. I'm not sure at the time. But anyway, here is one detail I almost forgot to mention is this ever so awesome belt buckle. And this belt buckle, as you can see, you might want to say this is not his first rodeo, because this is the kind of belt buckles they give to rodeo winners. Winners only, folks. That's right. No runner-ups, no participant medals, no anything. Now, with that all being said, let's take a look at his file card. I'm going to back it up here. Now, I did not have his original file card that came with the Dragonfly. This is the Tiger Rat pilot, codename Wild Bill. This came from, I believe it was 2003 or 2004, something like that. Where they kind of did sort of like the, they sort of kind of did the Tiger Force thing where they took the G.I. Joe planes and repainted them and renamed them something different. And they took the Cobra planes and repainted them, named themselves something different. Now in this case, he is what is known as the Tiger Rat, which is basically a Cobra Rattler repainted. So let's go ahead and read his file card. Codename Wild Bill. File name Hardy William S. Primary military specialty rotary wing aircraft pilot. Secondary military specialty fixed wing aircraft pilot. He is a grade CW4, and his birthplace, of course, is Brady, Texas. Now, in the cartoon, boy, oh boy, did they exploit that aspect. I mean, every other line was either a yeehaw or some kind of talk about how everything is bigger in Texas and some kind of Texas folklore or something or another. They really exploited that. So anyway, slow talking and easygoing Wild Bill doesn't let anything shake him up. This might not sound like much, but it means a lot to G.I. Joe, to the G.I. Joe team. If they are pinned down and need serious backup, piloting a VTOL aircraft in combat requires a unique combination of skills, stamina, physical coordination, and spectacle perception. Wild Bill, that's what it says. Wild Bill can pull maneuvers in the air that defy gravity and sanity. Always willing to lay himself on the line for his team, Wild Bill's been in more crashes than anyone you can count, but he always manages to get back on his feet and right behind the yoke again. Now, for those of you that don't know, yoke is pilot speak for the steering wheel, basically, and that's what the official name for a steering wheel in any aircraft is. It's called the yoke, and it has a little phrase down here, not phrase, but like a little paragraph that has, it's sort of like a personal log that they've said something that another team member said about him or something like that. So you've got an aircraft that can dogfight, bust a bunker, and drop down into the war zone and lay down sustained machine gun fire to cover our guys. Not many pilots can fly a machine like that. Good thing you've got me. Okay, so it's something that he says about himself. And this file card came with the Tiger Rat, much as the file card that the original Wild Bill came with the Dragonfly. I was saying that wrong the whole time, by the way. It's actually not the AR-15, but it is the AH-1 Bell helicopter. Now, when I think of Bell helicopter, I think of the same sort of bubble-shaped dome bell that came that was in MASH. But boy, would I be wrong. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this content, please be sure to subscribe. Until next time, this is Hebro77 saying, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you next time.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe!
It's Major Blood in the Cobra Copter. They're after Gong Ho. Get the G.I. Joe Dragonfly Copter. Wild Bill to the rescue. Major Blood, look. Let's get out of here. Cobra's turning tail. Want to lift, good buddy?
G.I. Joe! American hero!
G.I. Joe Dragonfly Copter comes with Wild Bill, other figures and equipment, each sold separately from Hasbro.